all are fit and fine. Today I am going to start chapter number 5, A Different Kind of School. It is written by E.V. Lucas. Why this is the different kind of school? Because in this school, special training is given, as that the child is deaf, the child is dumb, or the child is handicapped, right? Child is blind, means they have to follow one day as the child is blind, right? As the child is deaf, right? And that special training is given, right? So students, let's start the summary of the chapter, A Different Kind of School. Why this is different? Let's read. The author had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school. The author here is E.V. Lucas, had heard many things, right? Great thing about Miss Beam's school. It was unlike other ordinary schools. It is different to the different school, like it is not like an ordinary school. It followed a new method of teaching. The school follows some new method of teaching. They are teaching something new. It tried to ennoble the students. It taught them to give a helping hand to disabled person. And this school tried to make the children real, means a kind person, right? Whose heart is very kind, noble person. And even the school taught them to how to help the disabled person, right? The author decided to visit the school. As he entered the gate, he saw a young girl being led by a little boy. And so the author decided to visit the school, right? And what happened as he entered into the gate? What he saw? A young girl was being led by the little boy. And means the girl was of 12 years old and the boy was looking 8 years, right? The boy was also describing things to her, right? And the boy, he was describing things to that girl. Means that girl was with bandage on her eyes. Miss Beam was middle-aged and dominating. And Miss Beam, she was of middle age and dominating. Dominating means prabhavshali lady thi, right? But she was also very kind and helpful. And Miss Beam, she was very kind and helpful lady. She comforted the homesick children like mother. And she always treated children as she was their mother. She explained to the author her teaching methods. And then she explained the teaching methods of the school. She taught the kids spelling, simple arithmetic and writing. She read interesting stories to them. They sat still and attentive. And she explained author what they teach. So she told that we teach spelling, simple arithmetic and writing also to the children. And she also read interesting stories for them. And every time the children, they sat still and attentive, means they all, every time they pay the attention. Now next is the real aim of Miss Beam's school was not to teach thoughts but the thoughtfulness. And what she told, that the real aim of the school is not only to teach them thoughts, right? खाली thought समझा दिए बस, ऐसा नहीं है, but to teach them thoughtfulness, विचार करने के लायक बनाना है, right? They were trained to be kind to others, to become good citizens. And they were taught not only maths and spellings, but they were taught to become kind and a good citizen. The author looked out of the window. He liked the beautiful grounds, but he was pained to see some children not all healthy and active looking. So at that time, when author looked out of the window, so he liked the beautiful ground. The ground was beautiful, but when he saw some children, he was full with pain because he saw some children are not very active and healthy. Some girls had their eyes bandaged, and what he saw, that some girls have bandage on their eyes, and a girl was walking with the help of a crutch, and he saw that one girl, she was taking a crutch and walking. Miss Beam explained that none of the students was really blind, crippled or lame. And as Miss Beam saw that author was looking very sad, he felt pain when he saw the girls with bandage and with clutch. So Miss Beam explained that none of the students was really blind, crippled or lame. मिस बीम ने समझाया कोई ब्लाइंड नहीं है, कोई हैंडीकैप नहीं है, कोई अपंग नहीं है. They were playing different roles as a part of their training, and they are playing different role as it was a part of their training. Means one girl with bandage, she was playing a role of blind. With one girl with crutch, she was playing role of handicap. Right? They were taught to share in the misfortunes of others, and they were given training like to share misfortunes. Means कोई बहुत सारे लोग ब्लाइंड और अपंग होते हैं, तो उनके साथ क्या होता है ऐसा उनको सिखाया जाता है. So each one had one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day and one dumb day. So each child has to follow one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day and one dumb day. Other children were put on duty to help the needy. And other children, right, they were given some work, right? They have to help these children, those who are playing role of blind, deaf, dumb, right? And these other children will help them. The blind day was of course the worst, and for the students blind day is worst, but she was very thankful to Miss Beam led the author to the bandaged girl. She said that being blind was the worst experience, and now Miss Beam, she led the author near the girl who was playing the role of blind. So what she shared her experience that blind day is the worst day, but she was very thankful to her helpers, and she said that the blind day was worst, but she is very thankful to the students, those who are helping, right? Helper students. She had a walk with the author. She asked several questions about the color, the people and the places and the things. And that girl, she started walking with the author, and then she asked several questions to author, right, about the color, people, places and the things. The author tried his best to answer those questions, and an author also tried to give best answers to her questions. He became 10 times more thoughtful than ever, and author became thoughtful, 10 times more thoughtful, विचारशील हो गई. He was convinced that Miss Beam's experiment was really new and wonderful. And at the end, author was really convinced that Miss Beam's teaching method is really new and wonderful. Means I'm going to read from the textbook, page number 56, first paragraph. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit. What the author said that he had heard many things, great deal about Miss Beam's school, but up to the last week he didn't get the chance to visit the school. When I arrived, there was no one in the sight but a girl of about 12. Her eyes were covered with bandage, and she was being laid carefully between the flower beds by a little boy. And when author reached the school, what he saw, one girl, she had bandage on her eyes, and she was led by one little boy right between the flower beds, and that boy was round about 8 years. She stopped, and it looked like she asked him who had come. And suddenly that girl stopped, and as it looked that she was asking who has come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on, and the little boy described the author, and they passed on. Miss Beam was all that I had expected, middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. And what author say that he thought that Miss Beam would be of middle age, and she full of authority, means she had full authority, and yet she is kind and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and she had the kind of plump figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. And the hair of Miss Beam's hair was turning grey, right? And she was little bit stout, fatty, right? And she is likely that she is giving comfort to the children. Means treating children like their mother. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. And then author asked her about her teaching method. What she said, no more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things simple, spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. And what she said, no more than is needed to help them. Means she said that we help them simple spelling, adding, subtraction and multiplication, right? And rest they do by themselves, and even we talk with them some interesting talks. And during the lecture, they said still means calm, right? The real aim of this school is not so much to teach thought as to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others. And what he said, the real aim of this school is not only to teach them thoughts, खाली विचारी अच्छे thoughts ही समझाना ऐसा नहीं है, but the aim is to make them thoughtful and kind person and being responsible citizen. And what is the aim? To make them responsible citizen. Look out of the window a minute, will you? And she said, look out of the window. See students, up to here we will complete it in the next lecture. Thank you.
आभार।